I love this sunscreen. Let's try a new sunscreen. As always, going to pick it randomly. TIRTIR Hydro UV Shield Sunscreen. It's a chemical sunscreen with 3 types of hyaluronic acid. It also has collagen, aloe vera, and panthenol. It's supposed to be refreshing with no white cast and hydrating. As always, gonna use 2 finger lengths. Texture looks good. Really kind of just looks lotion-like. Let's see how it applies though. I think it has a fragrance, which is not my favorite, but sometimes it's okay. It does feel like the textures I usually like, which is more like a lotion. I don't like super thin and watery or runny textures. This feels nice. There is fragrance in the ingredient list right here. It's about halfway down. This has that really nice plumping moist feeling that I like for my sunscreens to have. It doesn't feel dry to the touch. I actually like when there's a little bit of like moisture to the skin when you apply your sunscreen. First impression though, no eye burn, no white cast, didn't pill, feels nice and hydrating, doesn't feel chalky. I actually haven't heard anything about this sunscreen, so I'm super excited to see how it wears throughout the day. I love this sunscreen. Now with my sunscreen tests, I usually just reapply it twice, so in total I apply it 3 times. But with this one, I actually decided to go for a 4th time, and it did so well. This is exactly what I like in a sunscreen. It's hydrating, it feels like a moisturizer, there's no white cast, no eye burn, no pilling. The only thing that I wish was different in it is that it does have a fragrance. The fragrance in it didn't seem to irritate me today, but sometimes with prolonged exposure to fragrance, it can become a little bit of an irritant, but so far so good. I love how my skin felt with it on, and even with a 4th layer, it didn't feel thick, it didn't feel tight, it didn't feel like uncomfortable. This has been my go-to sunscreen lately, and what I would say is the difference between these two is the texture. This one, while it is very hydrating and I love the texture of it, it is more lightweight than this one. So if you are someone that has dry skin or even just in colder weather, this one here is the YesStyle, this one here is the TIRTIR. So if I smudge them a little bit, you'll be able to see the texture better. They are still both very hydrating lotion-like formulas, but when you blend in the TIRTIR, it does feel a little bit thicker, but it's not uncomfortable at all. I actually feel like this one is really good for the winter time, and yes, I apply my sunscreen in the winter time every single day. Sometimes in the cold, my skin gets a little bit drier, a little bit more sensitive, and it needs extra hydration, and this one today did so well, and it was probably close to like the freezing point. It also definitely did leave my skin glowy. It didn't make it look greasy or oily, it just added a nice glow, similar to how a rich moisturizer would. I honestly haven't seen anyone speak about this sunscreen, but if you're like me and you like a hydrating, moisturizing, glowy sunscreen, you like the YesStyle watery sun gel, you like the Beauty of Joseon original, you like the birch juice moisturizing sunscreen, or you like the original Purito that got discontinued, definitely check this one out. I really like it. This is absolutely going into my yes pile. I'm gonna keep using it, especially now that it's been so cold these days. We'll see how it goes with the fragrance. Usually if I have a bad reaction to fragrance, it's gonna happen immediately. So I have high hopes for this one. I also think it's on sale right now. I'm gonna add it to my Shop My as I always do. It's honestly been a while since I've tried a sunscreen and felt so excited to talk about it. All day I just kept thinking how good this sunscreen was and how excited I was to film my update because it was just doing so well and I love it. If you've tried it, let me know what you think.